have a super exciting guest today. He is an expert in digital marketing. Has been over 10 years in the industry, Mr. Nick Roe. Nick, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me today. I'm excited.
Right on. Yeah, so just a little background. We met Nick back in a conference in Chicago. And over the years, we've built a kind of a rapport with Nick in terms of working together with our clients to help them better serve the videos we make. Nick, can you kind of give us a background of what it is you do?
Yeah. So again, thanks for having me on today. Really excited to be here and chat with you today. So yeah, I've been in the digital marketing space for 10 plus years now, covering all aspects of marketing, from doing early days of doing phone book back when, the early days there, but everything kind of from a digital perspective now, content related, paid media, owned media, you name it. We're covering all aspects from a digital marketing perspective.
Love that. So you've been in the industry for 10 plus years. I'm sure you've seen a lot change 10 years ago into now, and with technology just constantly evolving and apps coming out. Can you kind of talk about how you've seen technology change in terms of digital marketing?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, in today's world, it's an ever-changing thing on a daily basis. I mean, if you think of the early days of ads and when things came out, it was like throwing a dart at the wall. Hey, I'm going to put an ad up here and whoever sees it type of thing. Where in the world we live in today that is so data driven, you're so specific with the campaigns that you're running. I mean, you're getting in front of the right audience. I mean, people talk about it all the time, and it's hey, I was just talking about this, or I just searched this on my phone, but now I'm getting this ad for this on my computer. I mean, that's how specific, from a targeting perspective and all that stuff. So the world of digital is constantly changing, even for you guys, even more so from a video perspective. I mean, it's becoming more and more the norm to have great video content, to use that within your paid strategies that you're running.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I think just over the last few projects that we've been able to collaborate on, you've helped us, when it comes to giving our clients, more value for what we're doing instead of just kind of a one-off video, which, back in the day, that's just kind of what clients, they don't know the value of repurposing footage, cutting new ads. And I feel like once our partnership kind of came together, you've kind of opened this lane for us of like, hey, instead of just making this one long video, have you thought of putting together a 9-second ad, 15-second ad, 30-second ad, getting more for the client? And that it seems to be working. So can you kind of talk about how, in a video sense, that could be beneficial to your clients?
Yeah, I mean, as you guys have probably heard me say a bunch of times, there's nothing worse than you have this client spend all this money on a video to have this great video done, and you guys put all the time and effort into it, and then they don't do anything with it. The constant thing is, it's like putting a billboard in the middle of the desert. No one's going to see it. If you're just leaving it on a website where you don't have much traffic to, it's kind of defeating the purpose. You're just showing the video to your existing audience. Well, if you're trying to build new customers and build more revenue to the company, it's use and leverage those assets that you guys are creating. That's going to help from a conversion standpoint. If you're an e-commerce company, you want to see the product actually in a video format instead of just a single image sitting there. I mean, you're more likely to buy it if I see a guy walking down the street wearing the watch that I want to buy, also seeing this single image and some other stuff. So it's like the whole consumer path to purchase and how you go about it is you need those video assets, and it only helps from a conversion standpoint. So for me as a marketer, if I have clients that don't have video, I'm always pushing them to do it. It's going to help from a conversion standpoint, especially in industries and verticals that are, image driven, and,
right.
and it just helps with conversions at the end of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like, so like with us, it took us a little education for you to kind of be like, hey guys, have you ever thought of doing it this way or pitching it this way? And I think we kind of turned that wheel. But in a client standpoint, you look a lot more at data, numbers, where we're more visual. So I think coming together is super beneficial. But other educational moments where you need to kind of get your client up to speed of like, hey, have you thought of doing it this way?
Yeah, it's in my space, it's literally every client's different, right? And I'm sure it's the same scenario for you guys and what you're doing. Every brand's different on how their messaging is and what story they're trying to tell. But every client's different from how they're trying to reach, what they're doing. So we always we want to educate as much as possible. We want them to understand. Mind you, there's times where clients say, take it and run with it. You're the experts. I trust you. We can have a reporting call once a month. But then there's others where I've always felt that you build a better relationship with your client. The more information they know, the more they understand. And so when we get started within any client, what we're doing, there's three main questions that come into play. So people are like, well, where do I start? Right? What do I need to know? And there's three things that we always ask. One, who do you want to reach? Right? Extremely important, right? If you're trying to get your message in front of somebody, it is who do you want to reach? Two, it's what do you want to tell them? What is your story? What's the message you're trying to put in front of them? And then three, what would you like that person to do when they come to your website, when they see an ad, when they see the video, whatever it is? What's the action they want to take? If you start with that point and you can have those questions answered, you then can take it to phase, which is if we can get those questions answered from our side and our processes, we're going to start analyzing the data, right? Data is the facts. At the end of the day, it's one thing. Data is facts, right? We're not guessing on certain stuff.
Right.
You're looking at the data, analyzing it, and trying to figure out what makes the most sense. So we want to align, your consumer journey. We want to identify which marketing channels make the most sense based on, your customers, your audience, and their decision-making processes throughout, their time to buy or look for a service or whatever it might be. Right. Once you're able to do that, we can pinpoint audience and leverage from prospecting campaigns, retargeting campaigns, figuring out what's the right media mix within that. And then at the end of the day, the biggest thing, which really helps solve everything, is optimizing campaigns. We are so far from a cookie cutter, agency. It's optimization is what's gonna make everything right. Is, hey, you run a campaign, 2 weeks into the campaign, you're looking at the data, you're leveraging it. Because again, going back to that's going to be the facts. That's going to tell you, right, hey, I didn't realize this audience, we were going to have such a great response from this age group, this audience, when we thought it was going to be here. Well, maybe now we need a new video or new imagery or new creative based on what's coming through. And hey, maybe we don't have to bid as much for these ads. We can shift budget to these ads, right? So constantly optimizing across each individual platform and channel. But that's really our kind of approach. You have those three avenues.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you speak to someone like yourself, like I'm just learning now how much more in depth it is. I feel like a lot of people that maybe are small business or they're working for a small company and they're the marketing person, they think, it's simply just sponsoring a Facebook post and targeting all these people. And even us, I mean, I'll admit it, back in the day, we used to just kind of throw money at an ad and we'd get all these views, right? And it was hitting the wrong people and it wasn't converting, like you say. Can you kind of speak on, how there is that big difference of someone like yourself, if you truly go with a digital marketer versus kind of just, someone taking the easy route, trying to save money, and kind of how that hurts in the long run?
Yeah, it's, there's times where it can make sense to have somebody in-house doing it, but you're definitely getting a different, you're getting a professional side of it when you go, an agency route. I always say you truly are getting a full marketing team, right? So, I mean, lots of times you get companies that will hire somebody internally to be their marketing director or marketing manager, whatever it is. And they they have to manage Facebook ads, they have to manage Google ads, they have to do the blogs and the SEO, whatever it is. Where if you worked with someone like myself and our team is you're getting a full team. You have a specialist one in each individual area. They're specialists in that platform. So if you're doing Google AdWords, we have a specialist there. You're doing Facebook ads, we have a specialist there. You're doing Snapchat, specialist there. So that's 3 people. You have myself, you have other digital strategists that are jumping in as well. You're getting a full-on marketing team that's what they do, and that's what we focus on from the get-go. And so we're working hand in hand with you, right? So we're walking you through the process. We'll help you understand and educate you with how that stuff works. But the other thing at the end of the day is digital is always changing. So just when you think you understand the Facebook ads and Google ads and what's going on, now Facebook changes their privacy laws and you have all these things changing. Well, you don't know. Now you got to relearn a lot of stuff. You have to know how to relay the message to your client that these privacy things are changing. This is what you can expect. This is what you can't. Where there's so much, it's an ever changing market. So as long as, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot for somebody to do. In certain instances, I would say, sure, it could make sense. But most of the time, to have a full on team. And I always say, instead of hiring another salesperson, bring an agency in who you could have a full-time salesperson 24 hours a day running for you and being efficient, and you don't have to pay health benefits for and everything else. So another avenue.
I think it makes so much sense when you look at it that way, right? Like, I feel like some people may feel, what is the word? Not afraid, but like, what is the word? 2 people kind of competitive, or almost like, hey, like, I don't want you to take my job. I'm the marketer for this company. When it's like, hey, don't look at it like we're doing your job. Every day we're like a silent partner. We're like in the background making you look even better, right? Giving you time to really focus on big picture. We're like detailed.
Right. And we truly want that person to be part of our team. They will know every aspect of every person that's on our team. We'll work hand in hand. We want to make them look better. If they're the marketing person at their company, we want to make it, all the time we're putting, if they have to relay once a month or once a quarter to their higher ups, we'll help them put together, their reporting decks, put everything together. We'll also, put ourselves as we're available to be on those calls with them if they need it. But our goal is always to make that person look better and help in their, in their messaging and reporting back to their higher ups or whoever they have to report to.
Well, it's a team effort, it's like you build a strong team, and it's a win-win, right? But I really like how you kind of brought up how there's so much with the platforms changing. Facebook's changing, then TikTok and Snapchat. Can you kind of talk about some of the platforms that you guys use for digital marketing? I know you talked about, we've had previous conversations about like connected TV and just how things have changed. Can you kind of go into that?
Yeah. So just to give you a quick little rundown of like platforms we cover, right? I always say we literally cover everything. It truly is what makes the most sense for the client. So we're doing everything from Google AdWords, Google Shopping, display, social, you have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, video, connected TV, you have programmatic radio, you have real-time bidding, display ads, you have SEO, you have email marketing automation. It's literally endless, the opportunities, which is good. If you're working with an agency that covers those things, because they can always shift and adjust budget based on what's the most efficient thing, what platform has your lowest cost per acquisition, which one, so being efficient with where you're putting things, which also helps us with every client, again, has a different audience, who they're trying to get in front of. If you're a new company selling some sort of product that is targeted toward millennials or Gen X, whatever it might be, hey, let's put more budget into Snapchat. Let's put more budget into TikTok or display ads, because we know these audiences from this age to this age are on this platform. With connected TV, the one thing you talked about, like this past year, that's been a big one, right? Like I'm trying to find ways to maximize my clients' budgets and what makes where their audience is. Well, in the past year with all the pandemic and everything that's going on, is people are spending more time sitting at home in front of their TV, streaming Netflix, streaming Hulu, whatever the platform is. Well, hey, this is now a better avenue to get, serve an ad in front of these people. So it's, seeing a big surge from that side of things.
Yeah.
And again, it's all data driven compared to doing regular TV commercials compared to, the connected TV where it's all linked through streaming and URLs and all that stuff for households. Again, back to being more specific to who you're trying to reach. If I got 3 little boys at home, it makes sense if you're a company trying to serve somebody with kids or baby stuff, that you would serve an ad to me, and you would know that because I have 3 little boys, and it's just, you're able to be so specific and to who you're trying to get in front of. So it really is figuring out which platform. The other one is I've told you before is it's raining in the city of Chicago and you're an umbrella company. And obviously on the days it's raining, you want to up your bids a little bit and get in front of more people. Well, we can already have it programmed to do that based on the city, based on the weather that's coming in. Just like if your amusement park, it's 75 and sunny. All right, I want to up my ads these days, right? So you can be so efficient with who you're trying to get in front of and what you're trying to do. It's truly taking the time to build out those customizations and those audience, because at the end of the day, you want to try to be, again, efficient with what your ads are doing, where they're at, and with the client's budget. You want to make sure you're maximizing those efforts.
Yeah, no, and I love that. And I agree. I mean, I think people get afraid when they hear data nowadays and how it can be used for evil, but it's like in a business sense, I think it's an effective tool. And I love the analogy of like, why hire another salesperson? I mean, you can kind of build a well-oiled machine that's like funneling more than just sales. It's putting you out, it's getting you conversions. But I want to kind of piggyback to, I know previous conversations we've had, I always love that you said, like, when we originally started working with you, the first thing you kind of like were vetting us out is like, hey, like how much of marketing have you guys done? And a lot of the times it's, hey, we make a video for a client, they come back in 1 year, or it's an event-based thing that's annually, or the client just like needs a brand video, right? And you always, you've said, like, you asked that question, like, have you asked your client what they're going to do after this? So can you kind of talk about that approach and how you've kind of installed that with other video people you've talked to, or just other clients?
Yeah. I mean, again, it kind of goes back in our space. That's us. That's what we want to know. What is your goal? What are you trying to do? I mean, for you guys, you're putting together, taking the time to build this great video. And what you guys are doing is, you guys, even for yourself as a business, you want as many people to see it so that other business owners see someone else. They're like, man, who'd you guys hire for the business? So it only benefits you guys as a video agency if the client takes that video and starts, promoting it and blasting it to his, their ideal audience and who they're trying to get in front of. It's only going to help you guys in the long run, but it also is going to help the client, and it gives you an avenue of, hey, what are you going to do with it? Okay, we're going to do this, and now you guys come in and you ask the question, hey, I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, hey, you guys should talk to Nick. He can give you some ideas and see what might make sense for you guys. And if I get involved, majority of the time, I'm going to, you guys do that one video, but I'm also going to say, hey, we need 3 videos to run, some Instagram ads, Snapchat ads, Facebook ads, YouTube, whatever it might be. And then 6 months later, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to need new, fresh creative. So we're going to want you to have that JV Studios team back out. Let's get some new, fresh creative. Now we have holidays coming up. We have some other stuff. You want it to be, to make sense within the seasons you're in and all that stuff. So always having fresh content that's making sense. So it's now for you guys, instead of doing the one big video once a year and hoping they come back a year later to do something, you have something where you guys start having some residuals coming. You have clients that are sticking around longer. And I think we both can agree is, as the longer clients stick around, you build that trust aspect with each other, and you can get to a point where it's like, hey, it's time for 3 more videos. Okay, sounds good. That's that time. Let's do it. And
Right.
from the ad side, it's only helping the conversions and everything. So it's going hand in hand. So if us working together and as a team figuring out, hey, these ads perform well. Now I can sit with you and have our own brainstorming session with the client to figure out what else we can use that to help maximize and leverage the assets you guys create. So I mean,
Totally.
it's going to help the client in the run. You know, at the end of the day, that's what the client in their results and what they're trying to do is you guys are now offering them an opportunity to only maximize their brand and build their brand even more.
Right.
So it's a win-win all around.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I feel like, for those listening, and I know the people that follow us, a lot of them are in the video industry. Maybe they're just getting started in video, or they are a small team, right? And I think what we have found is like a smaller video, there's so much in Chicago at least, but across, national markets, LA, New York, it's competitive, right? But also there's a lot of work. And so I feel like as a smaller company, it feels good to have kind of like retainment of work. And so being able to even just repurpose footage. I mean, we go on sets for 10, 12 hours. We shoot so much stuff, and then we take the best of the best and make this one video. But like, there's so much that don't see the light of day. So I think, for those listening, kind of to reciprocate what you said, Nick, it's important to ask that client, what are you doing with this, and what can we do to kind of repurpose this, right? And I love that we built this partnership up where we can kind of lean on you guys if we are, we do have a client that maybe they do a little bit of marketing, but they're not really experts in it, and we can kind of open that conversation. So I really recommend those listening, look into helping your clients with marketing solutions, but also, find yourself a Nick, if not Nick. Find someone who really does this specifically, because then it allows you to kind of stay in your lane, do your video. It allows them to kind of analyze data, and you kind of become this power team. And so, Nick, I mean, of course, a lot of the stuff we're saying is the positives and amazing, it works and conversions, but are there any challenges that you face with clients, maybe not being as open-minded to it, or just in general with how it works?
I think there's challenges in anything that you do. I mean, especially from a marketing perspective, lots of times it depends on where a client's at. There's lots of times we're bringing in brand new clients who's never done any aspect of digital or marketing in general. They've just done stuff internally. They haven't really done anything, so they don't know. So there's a learning phase. But I always say with us is if you don't have any data to share with us from the get-go, all right, we're going to A/B, which we do anyways, but we're going to A/B test, this platform, that platform here. We're going to be diving in even more to we have to learn who their audience is, right? It could be a brand new business who just started and they don't know yet. In an ideal world, hey, this is who I think my audience is. This is it. So there could be learning aspects to it. So trying to make sure the client understands what's going on. But we always say is we need to weed out. We need to find out at the same time what doesn't work just as much as what does work, right? So from that perspective, as long as you're explaining to the client, like, listen, for us to find and hone in on your ideal audience, we're gonna run some ad. We're gonna test this audience. We're gonna test this creative. We're gonna test video. We're gonna test a single image ad, and really learn what's going on. But I'd say, from that side, I mean, you also have, obviously the market in the, the pandemic that we've been in, it's brought a lot of different challenges from it. I mean, some have actually worked out better and others not so. I mean, bringing companies that are retail stores that have never sold product, is we're helping them build a large e-commerce business. Now they had to adjust, they had to change things. They can't have foot traffic in their stores. Obviously some of that stuff's opening up now, but the early days they were literally shut down and they couldn't have anybody come in. So how can they help generate business? And the same thing is maybe they had a wholesale side of the business as well as retail. Well, those wholesalers aren't buying because they don't have people inside their stores anymore, right? So it's finding ways to help maximize their efforts. So I was doing a lot of, the e-commerce side, helping build different platforms, test new offerings that they've never would have probably tested, but this is the time to do it, So there's always challenges. There's always something that's going on. I feel like it's how like I said, I'm a relationship person. I like building a connection and relationship with every client, being honest from the get-go if something's going to work or not, right? Because if you promise the world and all this stuff, it's only going to backfire to you in the long run. I mean, I always say, I don't know if I can help you until we at least have a conversation. Let us learn. Let us look at something. There's plenty of times where I look at a client's data, our new prospects' data and information. I'm like, man, you guys are this is going really well. You guys are doing this well. Maybe we can piggyback off that and do other stuff, or, this isn't so well. So it's like, we'll tell you from the get-go, you've been doing this real well. I don't think we'll even touch that platform. Maybe we'll focus on these platforms because you're doing well in this aspect, right?
Yeah.
Because if the client's happy with results, that's the important part at the end of the day. It truly is, where can we get the best results at the lowest cost and help drive more revenue?
Amazing. Yeah, no, I mean, you're a book of knowledge. I mean, if people listening don't think that Nick knows what he's talking about, good luck, because this guy, you're full of the wisdom. You've been in the industry, and I think it's important to know that like things work and things don't work. And we're super grateful to have kind of met you, and kind of, I feel like you kind of are like in our corner, in the sense of, we built this rapport where a client comes to us and we ask that question now and they don't have anyone for marketing. We're able to kind of push them to you, and vice versa. If a client comes to you, they know they need marketing. You guys don't exactly do video. You're able to open that door to us. So I'm super grateful, and I know John is as well, that we've come together. I want to just ask one last thing. For video people, right, or just creatives in this industry, even photographers, right, because there's media there. Can you offer a piece of advice for just people that they can use to better serve their clients, that if they get these opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, again, kind of going back to just asking the additional questions. It's only going to help you as a videographer, photographer, whatever it is that you're doing on that side of creative, is the more questions you ask, it's going to open up the door to more opportunity for you as an individual, which is more revenue opportunity for you as a company, a video company. And it's also you're doing a better service for your client in the long run, because maybe they don't know, they don't get it. They're like, no, somebody told me I need to do a video, so I'm doing a video. And that happens a lot. I'm sure you guys hear it quite a bit, right? Same thing. People reach out to me. Someone told me I need to do marketing. I don't get it, right? So, I mean, in your guys' case, it's, hey, yeah, we can do video. What's your plan with the video? All right, well, I don't know. I was just going to put it on the website or put it on our Facebook page and call it a day. Hey, are you looking to build more customers? Are you trying to build, a new audience? Are you trying to promote a new product or offering? Asking the questions, because in the long run, I know in your guys' spaces, it does end up getting a lot of, hey, we provided the service, we gave the video, and then you don't hear from them. If you guys can find a way to build a reoccurring revenue stream by constantly getting new photo shoots, new video work, like on a regular basis. And that should be the case. If they're marketing, they should be using you guys and leveraging you from that perspective, hands down. So I always say, ask the questions. And like I said, you don't know if it's something they have until you have a conversation. So it's only going to help you guys too in the long run, because instead of just putting on a website, we need to think of this as client focused or, customer focused. Your mind and your creative mind is crazy. I mean, I've sat in on a photo of the production shoot with you, and it's like insane how you're coming up with thoughts and ideas. And I know that some of that would probably change if you ask certain questions with the client from the get-go.
Of course. No, I love that. I mean, there's a recap that I think, as far as like a video person, I feel like I'm in my power when I'm behind the camera and we're on set. But I think, you lose potential. It's not so much you're losing out on yourself, but it's the potential of what it could be, right? And I love that, just, asking that question of, what do you plan to do with this? And we never used to do it. So it's like, it's crazy how that simple question opens up a door of curiosity. And then we're able to kind of bring in someone like yourself to kind of educate them. And then it becomes like a light bulb moment where it's like, that makes sense. So, hey, I really appreciate, being on this. Nick, you're an expert. I could just tell you're confident in what you're talking about. For those listening, if you want to pick Nick's brain or even reach out, if you have a business that needs help with marketing, Nick, how can people reach you?
Yeah. Easiest way is my cell, always to get a hold of me. Shoot me a text, give me a call. Cell is 708-228-1366. Again, 708-228-1366. And email, you can reach me at nroe, nroe, at AdTaxi, AdTaxi.com. Just reach out. I'm happy to have a conversation. I always say, use me as a resource, even if you have your own digital agency, a full marketing team, but you just want to know more about the space and what's going on. Give me a call. Happy to be a resource. And like I said, we'll always be honest. We'll tell you if what's going on is going well, maybe it's not, or if there's any area of opportunity. Just happy to help and be a resource. And as well as always looking to add great quality people to my network.